afternoon and welcome to the broadcast on this 29th day of July 2021. My name is Wahiga Mung'ara and these are Citizen Briefs at 4 p.m. Now, immediately I want to tell you a little bit about what's happening in regards to some politics, and the Orange Democratic Movement now says that it has resolved to leave the NASA coalition. Speaking after a meeting of the party's National Executive Committee, Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna said that the party will now look for partners from other coalitions. ODM's move comes after other parties in the NASA coalition, namely the Wiper Party, ANC, and Ford Kenya, all resolved to leave.
The party is therefore dismayed by statements attributed to our former partners that the offer was somehow a vindication of their long-running grievance and that the same was made in a desperate attempt to keep them in the coalition. Nothing could be further from the truth. We still hold that NASA is the past. To further demonstrate this point, the National Executive Committee of ODM has today resolved to formally exit the NASA coalition. The NEC has further deliberated on the future of the party and its need to make new friends. We intend to embark on a program to build new partnerships and extend the ongoing talks with our potential partners to the grassroots.
The Kenya Union of Clinical Workers Union is now calling on the government to enforce the ban on political gatherings. Secretary General George Gibore says the rise in the number of COVID-19 cases currently experienced in the country is as a result of heightened political activities in the country and laxity in the enforcement of COVID-19 protocols.
Sadly, we are currently witnessing large political rallies by politicians and other senior government officers against the COVID-19 containment measures, whose actions are contemptuous in nature and make it difficult for any Kenyan to believe that there is COVID-19 in the country.
I'm sure Kenyans have seen what has been ongoing, especially during the by-elections, where our politicians have been gathering people and even without masks. And that is why we are saying that our politicians must know their leaders, and leadership includes protecting the lives of the people they seek to lead, because you cannot lead people who are dead.
And we'll be giving you more details about that worrying COVID-19 surge and the numbers as well in our subsequent bulletin. So keep it Citizen TV for that. But elsewhere, a meeting that was supposed to deliberate on the high cost of cooking gas and the high taxes and levies on petroleum products ended prematurely after two key cabinet secretaries failed to show up. Now, the Senate's Energy Committee had invited Treasury boss Ukur Yatani, together with his petroleum counterpart John Munyes, to respond to the issues, but they gave it a wide berth, instead sending representatives. Now, the chairman of the committee, Senator Ephraim Maina, adjourned the meeting, insisting that the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority alone could not comprehensively respond to the committee's queries.
From where I sit, Chair, I'll find it very difficult to proceed with this meeting without Treasury, because all that will be taken, or what the ministry will tell us, they'll be telling us about taxes. The reason why the prices have gone up is because of taxes.
The reason why we have invited both the ministers is so that then we don't have a ping-pong where then somebody will say, it's not our responsibility, it's the mandate of the Treasury to do so.
If you want, I'll prepare a comprehensive brief on how far we are at this point in time, and then can be able to present again to this House.
I'm not expecting any new story from you people. This issue of prices and the taxes, we have been on it almost in every meeting.
We had asked specific questions. How much was in that fund? And how much is being borrowed from that fund to be able to stabilize the prices?
I believe, as you have correctly guided, this is a question best placed and answered by the National Treasury. And as Senator Lekina has actually said, maybe that's a question that maybe we may leave for the National Treasury. Thank you.
Police officer Caroline Kangogo has been buried at her parents' home. This is in Nyawa village near Tambach in Elgeyo-Marakwet County. She was buried after a post-mortem examination on her body revealed that she died from a single gunshot wound to to the head. Now, Kangogo was wanted over the alleged killing of Police Constable John Ogweno and Peter Ndwiganjiru. Let me give you the latest in regards to the courts, and 4 men in Kirinyaga County have been sentenced to death after they were found guilty of robbery with violence that led to the death of 2 people. The 4, Isaac Kariuki, Kennedy Gashoki, James Getonga, and Christopher Bundi, had been charged that on the 1st of July 2018, they robbed and shot dead Margaret Wanjiru, taking her 200,000 Kenya shillings, and also shot Stephen Mureithi dead. 2 other persons, James Kimani and Kelly Nyawera, were shot and injured in this particular incident. Senior Principal Magistrate Gerald Mutiso, while handing down the sentence, told the convicts that they had not shown any remorse despite committing this serious crime.
They violently robbed PW2's premises and in the process killed his wife and 1 other person. They also shot and maimed 2 other people. The accused blatant disregard for other people's life aggravates the circumstances. If the accused did not respect other people's life, we should not respect theirs either. For the above reasons, I hereby sentence each accused to death as per the provisions of Section 296(2) of the Penal Code. The accused have a 14 days window to appeal the conviction and sentence with effect from today. Thank you.
And the newly elected Muguga Ward MCA, James Mung'ara, has been sworn in. Mung'ara took his oath of office at a ceremony presided over by the Kiambu County Assembly Speaker, Stephen Dishu. The MCA, elected on a Jubilee ticket, says that he will serve his constituents without favoritism.
I, Joseph Kirenji Mung'ara, do swear that I shall always truly and diligently serve the people of the Republic of Kenya in the office of the County Assembly, member of Muguga Ward in Kiambu County.
I'm going to work for Muguga as a block, not being divided that we have Upper Muguga, Middle Muguga, or Lower Muguga, because I cannot identify the votes that were given to me or those who are those guys who never voted for me. So since I cannot differentiate between those who voted for me and those who did not vote for me, I'm going to work for all of them as one.
Let's now take you back to health matters. And First Lady Margaret Kenyatta has appealed to stakeholders in the health sector to give the mental health support sector greater focus. The First Lady said that mental health should be given the same priority as other medical conditions, noting that with proper attention, mental illnesses are treatable. First Lady spoke during celebrations to mark the 25th anniversary of the Chiromo Hospital Group and the official opening of the Chiromo Bustani Level 5 Hospital in Nairobi. Chiromo Bustani is a new mental health focused hospital within Nairobi County.
It's being presented to Her Excellency the First Lady. Can you all of you hold it to the cameras?
To begin with, the projected prevalence rate of mental health condition stands at 10 to 15% of the global population, and a vast majority suffer from depression. In other words, we are estimating that 350 million people are affected globally. And in Kenya, mental illnesses are a significant cause of ill health, with an estimated 25% of outpatients and up to 40% of inpatients health facility visits have diagnosable mental health conditions. And when we speak of 25% of outpatient visits, in Kenya every year we have 64 million visits to an outpatient center. So you can calculate 25% of that. That's a huge burden.
To many individuals, families, and communities, we know that the numbers are growing. We have witnessed unfortunate incidences of suicides, substance abuse, and addiction among some of the social challenges facing our society today. These are made worse by discrimination and isolation of people suffering from mental illness. We all know of or have heard of someone who has battled with mental illness. This is a signal to our nation that we must do whatever it takes to heighten our efforts to create awareness about mental illness.
Let's now take you beyond Kenya's borders, and Senegal is experiencing a third wave of COVID-19, with cases rising from a few dozen a day late last month to about 1,700 in July. The country's health ministry says that hospitals in the capital, Dakar, are close to saturation due to a surge in the number of COVID-19 patients, with overworked medical personnel facing burnout. There are fears that last week's Muslim festival of Eid al-Adha, which saw many people travel to meet their families, increased the caseload. Senegal, which until this month had recorded fewer than 44,000 cases and 1,166 deaths, has registered more than 15,000 cases and 139 deaths since the start of July. The Senegalese health ministry has vowed to ramp up vaccinations, and this week welcomed fresh deliveries from China's Sinopharm and Johnson & Johnson.